Last time on RadicalSoda's Sonic Unleashed review! Was that a pelican? I could stand on the pelican. Oh, yes! You feel my angst! Yeah, I can feel it. Could it be? Is that the great Sonic Unleashed MILF? I don't know what I'm doing anymore. She is giving me the sexy eye, though. This time on Sonic Unleashed's RadicalSoda review. Wait, hang on. Now, here's the part of the review where I have to make a choice. I could just say the truth and that I simply don't have a proper place to record myself, or... This is very painful.
Living in the city.
It's like a roller coaster.
This video's been sponsored by ExpressVPN. Somewhere in this video there's going to be a hella funny segment, so stick around. So Sonic and Tails make their way... Don't exactly know when Tails started following us through this level. Sonic and Tails make their way into Eggman's base, with Sonic swinging his arms around so haphazardly, I'm surprised they didn't add sound effects. Despite Professor Pickle's ramblings about sandwiches, Tails frees him from Eggman's containment cell by pressing this oddly large button at the very top of it. Wait, if the button is way up there alongside the cell, how does Eggman get up there?
But let us be sure to collect the contents of that vault before departing.
Excuse me? Is he telling me that Sonic has no problem smashing open a vault with a single punch, but can't open up a door without straining? Either Sonic's not being entirely honest with us, or Eggman's using the wrong building materials.
Only hope for surviving this crisis. Let's go.
Could they have picked a less distracting sound for Chip's wings? It sounds kind of, you know.
Want some chocolate, Professor?
My.
Once back in the lab, Professor Pickle gives the team a rundown on Dark Gaia, who seems to be responsible for all the goings-on. Gee, I would have never guessed that the planet splitting apart and this big boy was somehow related. While this very important exposition cutscene's going on, Chip for some reason has been as distracting as possible, somehow turning the act of making tea into a one-man show. Wow, look at that. This is probably done to liven up the scene a little, as it almost looks like our titular main character is stuck in a T-pose. So it looks like we're gonna have to recharge the Chaos Emeralds by using the power of the ancient Gaia Temples. Seems a bit extreme to me. Just find the USB Type-C slot and go get some ice cream. This is why this game needs a remaster, folks. This is why. Tails, I know how to use a map. Just let me... Wow, he is really upset that I picked the wrong place, isn't he? Now, for some reason, Eggman's terrorizing a native village. I mean, come on, dude. You got robots. What do they have? Like, stone on a stick?
Who are you?
Who are you?
Sonic saves the day, of course, and taunts Eggman. Well, okay, I'm starting to understand why people hate Chip.
Is everyone here all right?
Wait, hang on a second. Did I just hear Tails in there? Also, why do the indigenous folk of Missouri all have American accents? It's a stark contrast to the other stuff they say. So, Act 1 of Savannah Citadel. This was one of the stages not in the PS2 version. I've already mentioned that, I'm sure, but I mean, heck, who's gonna stop me?
I will! That's right, it's me, Bear Grylls, and I followed you into the second dimension just so we can hang out again. And also so we can make Sonic Horror Games 3.
The start of Savannah Citadel starts off with a long stretch of empty road with mud on each side which slows you down if you run into it, which is odd because I don't think this mechanic ever comes back in any other level. Let me know if I'm wrong though. This level's a lot of fun, however it suffers from the same drawbacks as any other boost level, that being the overabundance of 2.5D! Although I will say alongside Generations, these parts are good enough to not feel forced. Not to mention the narrow hallway design that really limits your freedom. However, I understand in this game the levels still require you to be on your toes at all times, unlike other Sonic games, which will remain unnamed for now. I just mentioned it before. I wrote forced into the script without realizing it was a reference. The music is, of course, very good as always. I mean, bloody hell, it's a Sonic game. Actually, I don't think I've really touched on the music since I mentioned Endless Possibility and the... There are three kinds of main music for each area you explore: the hub theme, the daytime theme, and the night theme. My main favorites are, of course, the daytime themes, fast, energetic, and full of cultural instruments. Well, I mean, all the themes have that, but you know, Spagonia, Chun-nan, and Holoska spring to mind right away, as well as Eggmanland, and the hub themes are all great. I often use Apotos and Spagonia as background music in my videos. And the night themes... Yeah, I mean, well, they're good too, I can't deny that. They're jazzy and smoother than the daytime themes, and they're just really great overall, just not as memorable as the daytime music. Also, it doesn't help that they're constantly interrupted with the... I'll also say that the daytime boss music kicks absolute ass. And speaking of...
here so quickly?
Really? You really gonna ask that? Eggman shows us his new egg beetle, which actually looks pretty intimidating. I mean, it's pretty big after all, and unlike something of similar size like the egg hawk or egg albatross, this one has big slappers at the front. Ow!
You gonna eat that or?
As I said before, the boss music here is incredible. In my opinion, it's probably Eggman's best battle theme. Others have been extremely good, of course, but this one feels right specifically for Eggman. The trumpets or the horns, whatever they are, they work great and they remind me of his normal theme. Now this boss is fast. Really fast. If you thought running away from the orca was fast, if you thought chasing the egg hawk was fast,
If you thought Sonic 3D Blast's special stages were fast,
no. Then you ain't prepared for this one. I went so fast I outspent the game's mechanics. Also, I think Eggman's letting us slip a little bit that he's actually a furry.
My head-eating claws will tear you to shreds!
This is one of those boss fights you want to keep coming back to due to just the pure insanity of the spectacle and speed. When this thing switched to 2D, I couldn't even keep track of Sonic properly. At one point, my eyes just stopped seeing him altogether. Where is he? Another great thing about this fight is that even though it's designed for the quick step, you can still control Sonic perfectly fine just by moving the left analog stick. I didn't even mind using the quick step because it was so responsive. Not to mention that Sonic gets a cool blur effect when he does it, unlike in something like Forces where he just kind of shuffles to the side. This is how Sonic should feel. If I could have it my way, I'd allow you to quick step as fast as you could press the bloody button. And look at the speed! Oh, I'm not even boosting and I'm running it like Mac 2. Mock? Mac? Mac and cheese? I wonder what this level would be like if you actually had to round the corners yourself. I would love to try that. After the boss fight, Sonic and Chip find the Temple of Gaia and step inside to recharge one of the Chaos Emeralds. Huh. Anyway, the Chaos Emerald's power draws that piece of Earth back down to the core, and Tails comes over to tell them what happened. How he found this place even when Eggman couldn't, I'll never know. Although it could have had something to do with the giant pillar of light, you know, shooting towards the sky. Maybe Eggman just had his back turned or something.
Sonic!
Oh, what Tails? Before I went back to the professor, I talked to this chili dog guy who gave me a couple of extra challenges to do. I only did the time trial one, but while I was doing it, my homing attack completely whiffed my target, which was funny, I guess. Hey, look at that! I got a scorcher dog. What the heck is a scorcher dog? So another mechanic of this game is waiting until night/day. Some events or cutscenes won't trigger unless it's a specific time. For example, in one of this cutscene with Amy to play at night because of the whole Werehog thing, she runs away from Sonic thinking she'd hugged someone else. Not sure why he didn't just tell her that it was him, and then we wouldn't have a reason to make Sonic depressed, am I right?
wow, just like you, RadicalSoda, you're depressed as well.
Well, I was, Bear Grylls. Well, up until I started using ExpressVPN, that is. Okay, so ExpressVPN can't cure your depression, but it can do a bunch of other cool stuff. Let's say you're connected to the Wi-Fi in a coffee shop, like this chap here, let's call him Larry. You might notice he looks 30% dumber than a regular person, and that's because he's connected to an unencrypted Wi-Fi without a VPN! Oh my god! So this bastard over here has no problem hacking into Larry's emails and finding out he's planning on taking a trip to Australia later on this year. Or his bank details. You'd probably go for Larry's bank details now that I'm thinking about it. It's like if you didn't want anyone seeing your willy while walking outside, right? You'd put on some underpants. Just like how you turn on a VPN if you don't want anyone to see your private information. And now I'm safe. It's that easy, Larry. Like underpants over a willy, a VPN will cover every inch of your private information by sending it through its own encrypted service. This is probably not the best analogy. Protecting your info isn't all that ExpressVPN will do for you, though. Trying to watch a video that's not available in your country? Well, bam! Change it to a different country, and Bob's your mother. What's that, the Ben Galgan double piece in New Zealand? You kidding me? Can't live without this. Just simply switch your VPN to another country, and bam, there you go. You probably don't want anyone figuring out that you played that game in the first place, so maybe, like, you know, this is a good thing. Not to mention some things are just plain cheaper in other countries. Like, remember that whole Sonic Forces fiasco where it was way more expensive in New Zealand? Well, now I can buy it at the proper price. I mean, there's no way in hell I'm buying a second copy, but you know. In fact, I just had to use a VPN just last month when a sponsorship I was doing asked me to show their website's prices in US dollars, and VPN made that easy as. There was also that one time I had to use one to create an account for CanCol, but we don't talk about that. If I've intrigued you a little bit about ExpressVPN, then they're doing a special offer just for you. You can get 3 months of ExpressVPN for the low price of completely free. That's right, so go down to the description, click that link below. That's expressvpn.com/RadicalSoda. Hope I got that link right. This room is so echoey. I've put up like 9 bits of soundproof. It is not enough. So here we are in the Spagonia level selection area, trying to find something to do. Like, can't stomp, light speed dash, or wall jump just yet, so I'll have to stick to finding a level for the Werehog. Oh god, I ain't doing that again. Let's head over to Oscar instead. I'm sure there's something we can do there. Put on a sweater, Sonic! It's freezing here! Look, you're already turning blue! I did find the stomping shoes here, however, can't imagine Sonic running around with those things.
Here we go!
And here's another fantastic level. It's a little hard to see things coming if you aren't already ready for them, but the level's pretty fair all in all. One little annoying thing I noticed when playing this stage was that the stomping machine thing has geometry where if you stand too close to it and try to jump on it, it'll push you away, meaning that you have to back up to land on it, and nothing game-breaking, just a little something I thought was noteworthy. This level also has a small gimmick by the memes of a bobsled kind of thing, which is neat, although at one point you slide down a whale's back and all I can think of is the back getting all sliced up by the blades. Oh! Gosh, I don't like that. It's also the level that lets you run on water, which is great, although you really don't want to jump once you're on it because you can't reboost yourself back onto it, and Sonic will just do an air dash and sink you to the depths. Well, now that that's done, we can...
Sonic!
Why does everyone always sound like they're in distress today? How about a really, hey, Sonic, or a, how you doing, Sonic? Why is it always gotta be Sonic? You're asking me to go see the professor. It's really not that big of a deal. Oddly enough, a nighttime stage unlocked back in Spagonia, and... that's another nighttime stage, alright. I'll tell you, the novelty of the Werehog wears off pretty quickly, especially when all you're listening to is that damn battle theme. Not to mention all the enemies now seem to take an eternity to kill. The Werehog probably would have been much better received if they developed some sort of fluid bouncing from one enemy to the next kind of control scheme for him, with easy to defeat enemies. Even the little guys can sometimes take an age to kill. Back in Holoska, I was stuck whacking the same little green guy over and over. That's the main problem with these stages, I feel. You can moan and groan that they go on for too long, but I think half of the time of that is just spent wailing away at robots, which in the day stages die in one hit. I've already mentioned that, but I'll say it again, damn it, it's worth repeating. They do have some little fun bits to see, like this giant barrel breaking down a gate for you, even though Sonic could totally just knock it down with a single punch. But the wonder is always cut short by the... We did fight a mini-boss here whose primary method of strategy was to spew out as many little dudes as it could so it could destroy the frame rate, making it harder to see what the hell he was doing. Other than that, though, same old, carry an item for a switch, kill a few hundred enemies, break into some guy's shop, you know, the usual. We do climb a clock tower, but... well, this is still a Sonic game after all. Not to mention the level took so long, even Sonic didn't stick around at the end.
Come on, babe, let's dance the night away.
Dude, she's like 12. Also, Amy, just walk away. He's not even holding on to you for crying out loud.
Oh, it's a carnival of creeps out there.
And I'm not talking about the monsters. Did you see the way that guy was talking to Amy? I think your timing's off a little there, game. It was still loading.
Hey!
Wait, if Sonic can do that, why the hell am I pressing switches and shit to knock down gates and running around all slow like, huh? They could have just reskinned a Spider-Man game if they planned for Sonic to fling himself around like that. So now we have a camera, not to be confused with the in-game camera, which allows us to expel Dark Gaia from people's hearts. Alrighty then. I tried it out on this old lady here and never really did it again, aside from once. Screw this, man. It's literally just the hub world that now you gotta kill a certain amount of monsters in a time limit. Boy, these suck hard. It's not even like a short time limit either. The first one gave me 4 minutes, 3 of which I used, and the second one gave me 6, in which I failed. Had to do that shit all over again. And for what? Some XP? Not even a single sun or moon medal. What's the point? You have to refresh your camera film too? I mean, it can't save too many people at once. What? The missions are the worst in the game. You think if people had wanted to do them, you'd at least make it easy for them. The next area up is Chun-nan, the place where everyone makes equally weird noises as the natives in Missouri.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
You do?
Ching Chong
Oh,
Chong!
hang on a sec! Unfortunately, there was nothing much to note of in Chun-nan, but we head back to Spagonia with our new stompy boots and open up a new area, which coincidentally leads to another power-up, the wall jump. And yet again, they're not shoes designed for the average hedgehog.
Here we go!
Okay, so apparently every level I tried there was also a dead end, but now that I have the wall jump, I can access an area in Chun-nan, which nets me yet again another upgrade, this time being the air boost. Yes, I know I stated in an earlier video that you couldn't air boost in this game. We all make mistakes, let's move on. Well, that was another dead end. I don't have enough moon medals to progress. Didn't expect the game to already be throwing me under the bus over a couple of medals. I mean, I've been picking them up when I can, and well, a couple of day stages later, I'm not replaying the night stages, and we're all set for Dragon Road. How dare they put the first sun medal behind the start of the stage? That's just plain rude. In Lost World, that'd get you killed, you know. Not forgetting to mention this rock wall either, which only looks slightly different to its non-destructible brethren around it. Oh look, here's another secret wall. Easy medals, I guess. Let's get it then. Oh no! Finally, let's see what our reward is. Seriously? They hit the metal around the side. I found the secret wall, didn't I? Why are you still hiding stuff from me? This is one of the worst levels for trying to listen to the actual level theme. The theme's actually really good, but you'd never know it due to the constant back-to-back battles. Look here, I'm not even fighting anything. I guess you can make a case that the enemy back there is in the vicinity, but it's not attacking me. Not to mention the checkpoints are gosh dang terrible. There's a bit here where if you miss the jump, it'll send you back a whole arena fight to go. And at the end of the stage, it has this part where it expects you to jump over a bottomless pit to get some items, where in the last checkpoint was right before a mini-boss. Almost 24 minutes, and that was a B? It's time for the Werehog's first boss. Phoenix is under the influence of Dark Gaia, and it's rampaging all around. Well, I say rampaging, but there really isn't much damage around to see. And the way to break it out of its brainwashed rampage? Beat the shit out of it, of course. And I really mean beat the shit out of it. Sonic does not hold back here. Holy moly, this seems a little extreme. Funny how Sonic here manages to switch between looking badass and goofy in like a millisecond. After that, Sonic and Chip find another one of the Gaia Temples and head inside to recharge another one of the emeralds. Once outside, they run into the Phoenix again. This time, well, I'll let this dude explain.
The moment the temple lit up, the beast woke up. It appears he's come back to his senses.
Hang on a second. That's Mike Pollock. That's Eggman. I can't find any proof that it is him, but it sounds like him.
I see. I'll bet your job is to guard the Chaos Emerald Temple.
That's probably the funniest scene in the game right there. The way Sonic's interrupted, the way he repeats his sentence while trying to grab Chip. They didn't have to add that, but they did, and I appreciate it. It's not often a Sonic game will actually make me laugh out loud.
None of this is good, Vector. That's why it's called war.
If I don't laugh, I'll cry. It looks like Eggman is using Dark Gaia's energy to finally build Eggmanland. It sounds like a fucking Sonic line. Hey, Shadow. It looks like Eggman is using Dark Gaia's energy to finally build Eggmanland. Also, I love how his sandwich shrinks when he takes a bite.
Dark Gaia had yet to reach maturity within the planet's core, ergo it was still incomplete at the time of its awakening, ergo it was unable to sustain its own weight upon its release, ergo it scattered around the world.
I don't want to hear about its weight issues.
Another good line. Wow, I'm actually surprised. I'm also surprised that the devs wanted to do a little callback to Sonic Adventure 2 Battle.
That'll take care of Sonic for now. Which leaves the problem of Dark Gaia. It'd be difficult to collect every piece scattered all across the world. I guess I can use it for something. I'll just take it with me.
You guys probably already know this, but the original title for this game, as well as the title in Japan, is Sonic World Adventure. You know what it should have been called, though? Sonic and Knuckles 2. Slap Knuckles into the night stages and bam, you've got yourself a game! Where did Bear Grylls go?
You forgot to draw the window for this scene.
Thankfully, I have enough medals for the next day's stage, Rooftop Run in Spagonia. This is the game's most popular stage, if Generations is anything to go by. I can see why. The music is the first thing that grabs your ear, alongside the beautiful streets of Spagonia. Oh my god, Sonic's stuck! Somebody help him! This is a very strange piece of architecture. Are people meant to go in here? And if so, why is it so small? This level's got it all. Running down a big wall, skydiving through big spike balls, fast-paced grinding, and disappearing buildings. It's still a Sonic game after all. Anyhow, great level. I can see why it was picked for Generations. The next level up, and with surprisingly no cutscenes getting in between, is Dragon Road Day. 2 day levels in a row, you're spoiling me. I actually tried doing the M-Speed glitch here. If you don't know what that is, it's essentially a way for Sonic to move much faster than originally intended. I wasn't 100% sure of how exactly to do it, but from what I knew, I had to slightly move the analog stick forward and keep hopping. I think I got it to work here. I mean, it sure looks like it. Apparently in Unleashed, it's a lot easier to perform than in something like Generations. This is yet another extremely fast, stunning, and polished level. Am I meant to be able to stand here? The only part of it I'm not really fond of is the slow-moving platforms here, and not just because I suck at traversing them. They're the only part of the game so far that's designed to make you wait and, well, slowly traverse them. However, there's some fantastic parts in this level where you run on water, you ride a firework and skydive back down, face off against this bad boy. Just a solid level overall, much like the rest of the daytime stages.
Speaking of daytime, how's this almost over?
Wait, what?
Yeah, I mean, take a look.
Dang. That's right, everybody. I'm a weird skeleton.
Not quite as bad as me, though. Guess you could say I'm a bit of an airhead.